Well, bless the Lord, saints. Welcome to Profitable to God Ministry Incorporated. I'm Prophetess Carlah. Today, I'd like to have a discussion about pains of prophecy. So if I could give you a small disclaimer, I don't have on my glasses, and I'm going to have to read from my notes. It was too much to remember. So if you guys could bear with me, I would very much appreciate it. Amen. All right. Let's get to it. What are pains of prophecy? Pains of prophecy are the same as prophetic burdens. Amen. Prophetic burdens. Agonizing sensations that are sometimes weighty or heavy. In some cases, this can be felt in the bowels. It can mimic natural birth pains. It can be a burden of prayer, chest pains, heart anxiety or discomfort, numbness or heaviness in the limbs, the arms and or the legs, sickness, discomfort, disease, catastrophe, extreme emotional duress, and psychological stress. It may take on all sorts of diverse forms. Some may refer to themselves as prophetic feelers, right? Those people feel very, very deeply. They can feel for our nation, our world, our region, the local church, or carry the burdens of other people one at a time. In some cases, they even carry the heart of God. Amen. They even carry the heart of God. So with that being said, I get it. It sounds like, oh, wait, prophetic feelers. How did that get into pains of prophecy? I'm going to get into that because now I'm getting ready to talk about who carries pains of prophecies. Prophets, prophetesses, messengers, and then I want to say feelers. So I've already described what the feelers do. They feel it. They feel the pain. They feel the burden of the prophecy. Amen. So here's something that I think is very important that you should note. Not all burden bearers are prophetic. However, all prophetic people are burden bearers. Amen. Now I'm going to give you all reference scriptures at the end of this video so that I could just keep on moving for now. Amen. More seasoned prophetic people may have the pain a little worse than the average or than a novice type prophet. So the more seasoned prophet, once the seasoned prophet gets into the flow of how things work and how things normally happen with prophetic birthing pains or just prophetic pains, pains of prophecy, burden bearing, they tend to get relaxed as in, okay, I know what's coming. I know how this works. So, okay, I'm cool. However, with those types of people, they still kind of get it worse. So it's almost like you can't get too comfortable in this area. You can't get too comfortable in this area. Amen. Whereas a novice prophetic person, they may feel more of just the birthing pains. And I don't want to say just to minimize, but they may feel the birthing pains more so than all of the other pains. Amen. So for example, for me, when I was a young prophet, I felt birthing pains. I didn't know what it was. It felt like all of my female organs were ready to fall out. Okay. It felt like I was getting ready to push something out. I didn't go to the doctor all the time, but when I did go, they could not find anything. I didn't know that there was such thing as pains of prophecy. My mouth would hurt, my throat would hurt as if I was getting strep throat, my tongue would hurt as if I bit it, my gums would hurt as if I had canker sores. Mind you, I still checked all of this stuff out, and there was no evidence of actually having this physical pain have something accompanied with it other than the fact that I felt the pain. Amen. So it wasn't until years later I look at patterns and systems, and I'm always talking to God to relieve me of any what I call shock effects. Lord, let me know some stuff up front. I don't want to be shocked. I don't want to be surprised. I don't like it. And so with that, this was one of the areas that God really and truly blessed me with, that he honored me concerning this area. And so when I would get those different ailments and would find myself going to a prophetic function or a place and maybe wasn't aware that I was going to deliver a prophetic word, I noticed once I delivered the prophetic word, all of the ailments ceased. All of the ailments stopped. All of them stopped in those cases. Amen. So let's keep moving. When does this happen? When does this whole pains of prophecy happen? This happens when the prophetic word that is to be released, when it was probably conceived or first birthed into the prophetic person, be it dreams or visions, it's incubating in the spirit realm of the messenger until the Lord is ready to bring it into the world. So I could be in prayer, I could be asleep, whatever it is, God dropped that thing in my spirit, and that thing is just incubating. It's incubating. God is doing something with that word, even though I'm having to carry the pains of it. I'm having to hold the burdens of it. God dropped it in my spirit. And so that's when it happens, is when we're in between that place of that seed being dropped, but then that seed growing into fruition or bursting forth in the incubation period. I could be experiencing those birthing pains or pains of prophecy, because it's not just limited to birthing pains. Amen. Amen. Also, when a prophetic word has reached the most advanced stage in the process and is ready to burst out suddenly. So what did I say earlier? There could be a time where I could go to an event, me not knowing what the pain was coming from, me not expecting to give a prophetic word, yet I knew I was always willing and obedient to give one. And so boom, once God would tell me, speak a word or speak this word, speak thus and such, when I would give that word, boom, all of the symptoms would alleviate. Amen. Amen. Let's keep going. Where does this happen? This can happen anywhere. This can happen anywhere with anybody. It doesn't have to be a specific place or time. This can happen anywhere of God's choosing. Amen. It's simple as that. Why does this happen? This can happen by way of simply God giving it to us. This can happen when we get into really high praise, the music. This can happen when we get into intense worship. Prayer and intercession may bring on the birthing pains, of prophecy. God may also ignite them through a burden of prayer, suddenly descending upon the messenger. There have been times where I have cleared my schedule. I could have my itinerary for the day. Hey, I'm getting ready to do X, Y, and Z. Ooh, can't wait to get into this, that, and the other. Only for God to say, cut it. I need you to get in prayer. I need you to seek my face. Really? Well, how long? Until you feel my hand lift. Until you feel it lift. So we won't necessarily know every part about it. And I think there's so much more to learn about it. You guys, I have to do your own studying. I just wanted to bring this word to you guys, though. I thought it was very important and could possibly be very, very helpful for someone. So let's keep going. Why does this happen? Let's see. We just hit on that. High praise, music, intense worship, prayer and intercession, pains or weight of prophecy imparted by God to the prophet, prophetess, or messenger is to be delivered at a specific time during a specific season. He's trusting us. He's trusting us. That's just like any of us that have given birth. God entrusted us. Hey, I'm getting ready to put this seed on the inside of this vessel. And I am entrusting you that you're going to take care of it. You're going to hold on to it. You're going to do everything that you can to nurture it, to feed it until the time is right, or until it's time to go forth. Amen. And so it's the same thing. It's the same thing. We're to hold on to that thing. We're to nurture it. We're to not move out of God's timing. Amen. That's something special that God blessed us with. And I don't think it's to be taken lightly. Amen. How do we alleviate the suffering? I'm glad you asked. So the pains are alleviated when the suffering season is over. The pains are alleviated when the suffering season is over. Yes, there are times where we will go through seasons of suffering where it may look as if, God, the enemy is really fighting me here. You gonna let him keep? Whereas it may not be the enemy. It very well may be God allowing you to go through some things. And again, it's up for us to learn, to know better than, to be able to have mentors, to be good mentees, to be able to put in that time in prayer and study and to show ourselves approved. We have a responsibility to know and learn all that we can about this craft that we're walking in, those of us that are walking in it, or those of you guys that know someone that is a prophetic type person. This may help you to perhaps understand them just a little bit better. So the pains are alleviated when the suffering season is over, one, or when the suffering prophet spends time in intense spiritual prayer or warfare. It can help ease the pain, not necessarily get you completely out of it. You're not out of it until your suffering season is over. When your suffering season is over, that word is going to birth forth. But if it's not time for that word to birth forth, then you can go into intense prayer or spiritual warfare, and it'll help ease it just a little bit. So it's that balm. Amen. It's just like putting that salve or that balm on that wound. It makes a difference. We know that it could be temporal, but we're willing to do the work to get a little bit of a breather or a cushion there. Amen. All right. So let me go back through real quick and give you guys some reference scriptures. And then we're going to get on out of here. Amen. Okay, so we're going to do Acts 3 and 38, Acts 26 and 23, Acts 27 and 10, 1 Kings 20 and 35, James 5 and 10, Numbers 11 and 15, and then Galatians 6 and 2. I have those reference scriptures under pains of prophecy and prophetic burdens. Amen. Here's some more scriptures. Isaiah 53, 4 through 10, Matthew 8 and 17, and Hebrew 4 and 15. I have those reference scriptures under who gets the pains of prophecies or who are burden bearers. Amen. Let's see. I think that is it on there. Okay, friends, tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel about it. You have any questions, or if there's anything you'd like to add. Again, there's a lot that goes into this, and I'm trying to squash it down into just a few minutes. Amen. But you better know I didn't have to put in some work just to give y'all this little bit, but to more so feed my own spirit, amen, with stuff that's not even on here that I even spoke about, amen. So Hit me up. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you're feeling about it. But in the meantime, I'll talk with you guys next time. So stay blessed and stay safe.